Hey y'all, Mel's here. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe below, smash that like button, and turn your post notification bell on so you can be notified every single time I post a new video. Why not? So let's get into the video. If you watched the video before this or not, all I did was prime my face. I did some color correcting, I put foundation, and I put concealer. That is about as far as I've gotten. Now we're going to continue on to the next steps. My sponge is still wet. We're going to go in to I want to go into why this is helpful or why this is like a necessary step. I used to not do this step until like 2 months ago. I like do my makeup that often, so when I did do my makeup, it was for like dancing or like just shows and stuff. So I didn't really care if my makeup creased or like, you know, flaked or anything, because I would not be on stage for that long. And yeah, like I wasn't expecting my makeup to last me all day. But with baking, what this does, it helps you like avoid any creases in your makeup. I have 2 shades. I have the Fit Me Maybelline Fair Light, and I also have Fit Me Maybelline 25, which is medium. And I will not be using this one because I'm going to keep going back to this video. My Rizos Curls video, I tried using this finishing powder instead of this one, and since I haven't tanned all summer at all, this is not my color. So I did look a little like, you know, more bronze than I actually am, and it didn't match my neck or anything because it was just because of the finishing powder. So like, we're not doing that. That wasn't cute. I'm just gonna go in with the Fair Light because it's been working so far and I have no complaints of it. What you want to do is you want to make sure you want to make sure your sponge is, you know, moist. I'm just gonna shake this because it does have like little holes for the product. I think I shook too much. I'm just gonna open it, and as you can see, it's just like a loose powder. I learned not to use like a pressed powder simply because this is easier to wipe off and it's easier to blend into your face. So what I like to do, since I do have a bigger sponge, is I squish it and I make it kind of like, you know, slimmer, and I just dab it twice and I just go right under my eyes. I'm gonna do that again, and I make kind of like a rectangle type of shape. That was definitely not a rectangle, and sometimes one side gets more love than the other. It is what it is. So yeah, like I said before in my past video, remember where we put those concealer marks? That is where you're gonna be baking. I personally don't like to bake on my chin. I don't get it. For today, I'm gonna do it just so we could follow what I said and not, like, you know, put some on our chin. I also like to go in right here on our jawline, and I'm gonna tell you why. So when you go on your jawline later on, when you go to bronze, this area is more sharp because you did this step. Whereas if you were to just bronze with no baking or any step, your bronzer or like contour, I don't contour, but like your bronzing wouldn't look as sharp, and like we look a little crazy. And now what I like to do is I'm gonna go off camera and I'm gonna do like a quick eyeshadow look. I'm not gonna do anything crazy. So you're supposed to last, I think, about 2 minutes if you have drier skin. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And you can last about 5 to 10 minutes if you have normal to like oilier skin. I last as long as it takes me for me to finish my eyeshadow. Use a big fluffy brush because it does make it easier to wipe off. I'm gonna be using my James Charles mirror just so I could see what I'm doing, but honestly, you're just gonna wipe it off. You could get as heavy-handed as you want. Don't go too crazy, but just make sure you get all of it off of your face. You don't want any of that laying there. And while I'm doing this, I guess I could just talk a little bit about something I was scared about when I first started using what's it called? Like finishing powder, or like just baking in general. I was so scared of flashback because for my prom I had some flashback. For those of you who don't know what flashback is, it's basically when your finishing powder, or sometimes your concealer does this, when you take a picture with flash, you get some like white or like really light toned parts of your face. So like wherever you had the finishing powder, even though you did blend it in and like wipe it off, some of them do have like, I forgot the ingredient. Oh my gosh, I did research for this. I'll be putting the word below. It has this ingredient or these ingredients in it, and that causes some flashback, and that is why it will look like you did not blend in your finishing powder, even though you did. And it's scary, but just make sure you do some research before purchasing a finishing powder. Okay, so my eyes are done. I'm not gonna do my eyebrows today. I'm not really feeling like I have to. This is what I use. I use the Master Contour by Face Studio. It's Maybelline in the shade light to medium, number 10. Don't look at my nails, they're dirty because of like eyeshadow and stuff. But yeah, this is what I use. A fan brush. This is what I use for my highlight. As you can see, it's pretty used up and gross. And then I use like this angled fluffy-ish brush for my bronzer and my blush. So I like to go in a few times with it, dab off the excess. Okay, so I'm gonna go right on my jawline where we had the finishing powder before, and then after that step I'm gonna explain what I like to do. So I don't know if you can really see it. I don't like to put too much. I'm not big of like on contouring and stuff. You could also do like a dab motion or just wipe that on there. And then I go on to the other side until I learned a trick. So you're gonna align the brush that you're gonna use with the top of your ear right to your mouth like this. And right where that brush is, that is where you're gonna put the bronzer. So it's basically like right along your cheekbone, but not really right directly on it like the highlight goes. It's more of like a subtle, like, you know, sharp line. But I don't really go all the way down. Another thing to note about bronzing and like blush in general, depending on your face shape, you're not gonna want to go all the way down a line or apply it this way. I have more of like a heart-shaped diamond head shape, so this is how I apply it. I'm gonna put some diagram pictures that I found on Google again, or Pinterest, I don't really know. And yeah, it kind of just like helps out if you have a rounder face, where you should be applying the bronzer or where you should be applying the blush. This is just like where I apply it, and I feel like it works for me. I might not be applying it the correct way either, but this is how I do it. We're also gonna go into like our temple, like where your hairline is. So I just like to dab a bit up there in a circular motion just on my forehead at the top, just so it doesn't look so pale up there. And we're gonna go in with the same brush into the blush right here. This is more of like a pinkish color, whereas this one was more peachy. I don't like to put too much blush. I used to overdo it with the blush. So I'm just gonna go in 3 times, maybe a few more times. I can't really see it on the brush. I'm gonna dab it off the side, the excess, and I'm just gonna go kind of like in a circular motion on my cheekbones, a little bit, not too much. And then I'm gonna go slightly over my nose with whatever's left over, okay? So if it helps if you smile, you can smile and just go over that little cheekbone. I went like 3 times, and I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. Okay, 3 times. You don't really see it. If you wanna go more, I'll do it for you guys. I'll put a little more. Okay, now I'm gonna go slightly over my nose just so I can have like a little color effect on here. I kind of like the pink. With the Wet n Wild highlighting powder, this is my favorite highlight since I've started using makeup. Like, this is my favorite. I used to use the one in this palette, but it just wasn't doing anything for me because the shade was too light for my skin tone, so it just wasn't showing. But if you watch my videos, you know I be glowing with this highlight. So what you're gonna do is, with the fan brush, you're just gonna go in this motion, dab off the excess, and okay, you can smile to find where it goes. I kind of already know because my face has like a distinct line right here. Wherever you stopped the concealer type of thing, you're gonna go up to here. So I go like up to here, and then I go on my nose, like on the bridge of my nose, on the ball of my nose, then the same thing on the other side. Some people highlight on their forehead. I've never been a fan. Okay, so we're just gonna go right here, kind of above the blush that we just placed. I don't like to go too far up. I think if you have a rounder face, it does help if you go up here with your highlight. Okay, so right here, where you're kind of like where your highlight is kind of the bridge between the concealer and your blush. Like it goes right there. I don't know how else to explain it. Now we're gonna put right here a little bit on our nose and on the bridge. Okay, so this is the finishing look. I hope you enjoyed this style of video. If you want to see more steps broken down for makeup, hair, anything, comment down below, or honestly DM me if you don't feel comfortable commenting down below. I do read them and I take them into consideration. That is the reason this mini series is being made. Yeah, let's get into our shout out of the day. Today has commented on honestly like every single one of my videos. I do know her personally. I love her. Her name is Emma. Thank you so much, Emma. You are such like an amazing person. I think we're honestly soulmates. Like, she's like my girlfriend, guys, like honestly, and I love her so much. She's super supportive. You have definitely seen her name in the comment section before, and it was just right to shout her out for this video, not just because she's super supportive all of the time and like she followed all of the guidelines and like, you know, it was just right I picked her. Also because she is the person that showed me how to bake on my face, and yeah, like she helped me purchase a lot of products and like just learn a lot about makeup. And yeah, thank you so much, Emma. I'm not gonna make this shout out super long because it's not fair. You know I love you. And yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for watching, y'all. Please don't forget to smash that like button and turn your post notification bell on so you can be notified every single time I post a new video. Why not? And since you've made it this far, most importantly, don't forget to subscribe below. Follow me on all of my social media platforms. They'll be down below in the description box. Yeah, cue the montage. I'll see you all next week. Bye.